Hey, this is Trevor with the Dudes and Film podcast, and we are having so much fun recording that we forgot to do an intro to this episode. So it's just me right now. Wanted to throw this in here and just say thank you for listening and enjoy the episode.
Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. That's the.
Boomer. That's like my generation.
Have you seen the Star Killer base with Kylo Ren?
Yes.
Where
the Saturday Night Live
yeah,
sketch?
Have you seen the new one they do?
Yeah, I saw the new one like 3 days ago.
Kylo Ren just comes up. He's like, "Okay, boomer."
And to the people that were like younger than him too, that was even better.
He says like, he's like, "Okay, boomer." Okay, boomer. Oh my god, I just love Adam Driver. Adam Driver is like slowly becoming my new favorite actor.
He's getting better and better.
I love him.
Did you know that he was a Marine?
Yes, I did.
He was a Marine right after 9/11.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
Super extreme.
Good career for him. Like goes from Star Wars and then like
just everything.
Does everything. Like he's on SNL and then
he does comedies. He does action.
Does
dramas.
comedies, and then he also did The Marriage Story.
Yeah. I'm wanting to watch that on Netflix.
And The Marriage Story was nominated for Best Picture.
That's right, it was. Speaking of
the Oscars this year, which was
the Oscars,
my transition the whole time
yeah.
for this intro.
What are we talking about today,
Oh, we're
Trevor?
talking about the Oscars today. I know we said we were going to talk about The Mandalorian.
That'll come up next, guys. We promise.
Yeah, it's going to come up next. But with the Oscars, I mean, by the time we post this, it's going to be a couple of days later. But right now, we're recording on Monday, so the Oscars were just yesterday at the time of this recording.
Yeah.
So we thought it would be timely and, basically a good day to talk about the Oscars.
Yeah, just the Oscars in general, like the nominations and what we liked about it and what we didn't. And trust me, from my... Now, this is all opinionated, okay, guys? This is solely like our own thing. I personally hated almost every single decision that the Academy made, okay? So here's the thing. We've got Tom Hanks nominated for Best Supporting Actor, right? For A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Now, he was a supporting actor because in that movie, it was more of Lloyd Vogel's movie instead of Mr. Rogers. It's not really about how he came to fame or anything like that. It's more about Lloyd and him talking with Mr. Rogers and all that. So that's why he had the supporting actor routine in the first place.
Yeah.
And I was decently upset when I heard that he didn't win.
Tom Hanks just deserves all the awards.
He deserves every single one. He deserves the best film editing and the best director, even though he's not the director.
He's been one of my favorite actors for forever. And
yeah.
So, and whenever I'm a little bit biased when it comes to that, but like I definitely want him to win every single time when he's nominated. I'm just like, oh, Tom Hanks, give it to him. Just
and especially for his performance compared to Brad Pitt's.
Yeah.
In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And I thought it was Titanic.
Okay, boomer. Hold on now. Titanic came out more than 20 years ago. Okay.
And he didn't win an Oscar for that one.
Because he wasn't in it. That was Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, you're right.
Leo DiCaprio, though, he was nominated.
I was probably thinking the other one with the boats, like Pirates of the Caribbean or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
No, that has not been nominated for a single award, and probably
he's
never
not even
will.
in that one either.
Ever. Even though they are pure artwork.
And he's not in that one either.
Oh, my gosh. How did you do that?
I don't know.
Okay, boomer. I'm going to be roasting you all. Okay, so...
I don't know, Brad Pitt's that one that was in that one.
Yeah, he's just the one guy that you'll see in like a commercial, and your grandma will recognize him. Like, oh yeah, he was in Troy. I loved watching that movie.
And Matthew McConaughey, he's that guy too.
Matthew McConaughey. All right. I love Matthew McConaughey. So yeah, I was pretty bummed out that Tom Hanks didn't win Best Supporting Actor. I was actually quite enraged. I was pacing the room. I was sweating. It was not good.
I didn't even watch. I was too busy watching the XFL.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with...
Hey, do we have a sponsorship for this?
Nope.
Okay, well, then you can't give
No,
stuff on our
Vince
behalf.
McMahon, if you want, here's the thing. I'm going to say good things about the XFL. It was pretty sweet to watch. So, Vince McMahon, if you're listening, send me like $20 or something.
Hey, there you go.
That's all I want. Hey,
Yeah.
even if it was like just like a shout out on Twitter, I'll take that too.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. Because XFL was really good, dude. Yeah. I liked it. Keep it
your
up.
guys' support really does keep us going, even though we've only got like 5 of you tuning in.
you're giving me lots of football to watch, and we're supposed to be talking about the Oscars, and now here I am talking about the XFL.
We have ADHD, so this is what happens. I have ADHD. Whatever. Yeah. All right.
But that's what I was watching instead of the Oscars. I'm a sports guy, so when Super Bowl's ended, I get into this like sad depression, and then it's like, oh, the XFL.
Yeah.
Football is out. I'm all about that. I love football.
Yeah. Back to the Oscars.
Yeah, back to the Oscars.
So in case you guys didn't watch it, who was it hosted by? It was by Jimmy Kimmel again this year, right?
Yeah, I think the past 2 years there's been like no like official host.
Well, that was last year because of the Kevin Hart drama. Because if you guys didn't know this, I'm sure you probably read about
He's short.
Twitters. He is short, but the reason that the Academy called him and said, hey, we want you to host. We know this is something that you wanted to do like all your life. So then a troll on Twitter brought up one of Kevin Hart's old tweets back from like 2007 or 2008. I don't know. Whenever the first Twitters came out, Kevin Hart was there, and he tweeted something homophobic or something like that.
Oh.
And then somebody went and dug it up, posted and said, this is going to be our Oscar host for this year, and are you proud? Are you entertained?
Are you not entertained?
The Academy said the Academy said that they would still keep him, but Kev Hart said that probably wasn't a good idea. So he stepped down from that role. At least he was, yeah.
I think that's dumb though. Like people have been doing that a lot, like recently, just like. Even with like politicians and stuff like that, and I don't want to get into politics, that's a whole nother subject, but like we do that all the time where it's like, oh, somebody will post a tweet or something on Facebook like, 7 or 8 years ago, and then try to like basically pull them under and be like, this guy shouldn't be your host because 10 years ago this person made a mistake. And I personally think that's wrong.
Yeah, it is
wrong.
But
I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I think Kevin Hart backing out was the right thing to do, but I don't think we should be looking for dirt on people of something that they posted, almost like 10 years ago, probably even more, and trying to like ruin their career for it. That's just
that's
just dumb. We all change our minds and grow and learn. So
I was really bummed out that he wasn't the host.
Yeah, he would have been a great host.
He would have been hysterical.
Yeah. But if you weren't watching though, kind of getting back onto the subject of the Oscars. So the best picture, I guess, do you want to go straight to best picture, or where do you want to start?
We'll start with best picture.
Start with best picture. So let's read through the nominations right now. There were 8 nominations, I think, nine nominations for best picture.
Yes.
Starting, I'll just go through all 9 of them real quick, and I don't want to go too much into detail. We'll go through all 9 of them. One was 1917, which we have talked about. We both thought that was awesome.
Oh, it was amazing.
Ford versus Ferrari, which I haven't seen. I heard really good things about. Mm-hmm. I do want to see it. Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I honestly didn't even hear of. Mm-hmm. Parasite, The Irishman, Little Women, Jojo Rabbit, and Marriage Story.
Yep. Here's the thing about Marriage Story and The Irishman is I believe that they're the first Netflix movies to be nominated for Best Picture. I could be wrong. There could have been other films, but these are the first ones that I've heard of.
Done my research on it, but I know that those 2 are Netflix exclusives, and they're the first ones. I mean, they both have big actors in them too. I mean, like we were talking about Adam Driver in the beginning, and Scarlett Johansson was in Marriage Story, and
I still haven't seen it yet. But
I didn't watch the whole thing. My wife was watching it, and so I caught bits and pieces of it. My theory is personally that Kylo Ren is actually undercover, and he ended up somehow marrying Black Widow.
Okay.
And so then they got into like a marriage thing and got into like a huge fight, and he was just like basically trying to scout other planets to see how their governments run and stuff like that, because he's trying to rule the galaxy. And then somehow he ended up with, Black Widow, and she was also undercover as Black Widow, trying to, find out who all the other supers are and stuff, so that way they could keep track of them. And, nobody has told me I'm wrong so far.
There you go.
So as far as I know, it's right.
My personal pick that I had for Best Picture, I I had 3 that I really wanted to win. My first was 1917. I mean, that film blew me away in ways that I didn't even know were like possible. The cinematography was amazing. The story was amazing. The directing was amazing.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I think I'm glad that it was at least nominated.
Yeah.
I think it deserved the nomination for sure.
My second pick was I had a really tough time choosing between Joker and The Irishman, because The Irishman was that kind of classic crime thriller that had like elements of The Godfather, but more upbeat.
Yeah, and Robert De Niro in it, like it's
Robert De Niro kills every
one of his best movies, I would say. Like this was, I agree that he usually is like he's a great actor, but this one was a step up. Like this was one of the best movies he's done this decade.
Right. Yeah.
I would say.
But the Joker, I mean, oh my goodness, Joaquin Phoenix just makes that movie.
Yeah, I'm.
Dang it.
Oh man, you're getting a call there.
Yeah. Whatever.
I am not shocked that Joker was in the running for the film, but I think it's nice to finally get a superhero representation movie. And I know it's a super villain, but like a comic book movie, because a lot of times like for Best Picture, I feel like they kind of go under and they go for other awards like Best Music Score, Best action scenes, or Best special effects and that kind of deal. So I think it's kind of interesting to see it in that spot. I think there might have been other ones nominated before for Best Picture, but it's just kind of refreshing to see because you don't really see it a lot. I mean, like you didn't see Endgame in the running for Best Picture, and that's the highest grossing movie
of all time. Yeah.
So you would think that a movie that with that capability would be in the running, but it wasn't.
Right. Yeah, that was nominated for Best Visual Effects, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I was really bummed out that I wasn't nominated for like Best Actor for Robert Downey Jr. or something, because Robert Downey Jr. kills every performance.
And that's
he does.
the thing. It's like there's so many good actors in those movies, and I just feel like sometimes they don't get enough representation in the Oscars. But hey, it's cool. I think Joker definitely deserves it. It's a very story-driven movie, and I think that's usually the ones that end up going for Best Picture are movies that are more kind of story-based, like a very focused story, versus something like Endgame where it's more of a kind of fantasy action movie. And I mean, I think the story's good for it, but a lot of people watch it for the other stuff more than the story to sit there and pay attention to.
This is true. Now, the other nominations, such as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Marriage Story, Jojo Rabbit, and Little Woman, I didn't see. I saw parts. I think I saw...
Like I said, I saw parts of Marriage Story.
Right, I was about to watch Marriage Story, but then I ran out of time.
I didn't watch the whole thing, and I will say that I thought the acting was phenomenal in it.
Okay.
I thought it was stellar. Like Adam Driver is super good, and Scarlett Johansson is super well. Like they are very convincing that they hate each other in the parts where they do, and they're straight up like yelling and screaming at each other, and like they were very convincing. So it looked good.
Yeah.
And then just from the story of how it went, like the story was kind of like, I'm sure it hit home for a lot of people, not for me personally, but
sure.
The story was very well driven too, because it was kind of tragic and kind of upsetting, and it was kind of, the scenes that I were watching were awkward, and I think that was the point, is they were trying to make you feel kind of uncomfortable when you were watching it. Like it's not supposed to be like I'm gonna sit down and just watch this movie.
It's not supposed to be a feel-good movie.
Yeah.
Like
and
1917
and that's why it was good though. Like that's what made it good, is those those very subtle, they do a good job at making it awkward kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the Best Picture category. Parasite ended up winning Best Picture, which blew a lot of people away.
It came out of nowhere, yeah.
It came out of nowhere. It won, I believe, 4 nominations. I was personally rooting for 1917 because I think that's the greatest film of all time.
Yeah, I didn't see Parasite, so it is hard to be like, oh, Parasite doesn't deserve it because I didn't watch it, but it was also a foreign film. I did.
Yeah, what was really confusing is because it already won. It already won Best Foreign Film. Then why does it have to go ahead and win Best Picture? That doesn't make any sense. It kind of contradicts itself. And I'm getting up and I'm standing up again. I'm mad. I hit the mic. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
I'm coming back.
But I had heard about it before it won Best Picture award, and it didn't surprise me just because from all the stuff I was hearing about it, all the positive reviews about it, it didn't really surprise me because I kind of expected it, I guess. So I expected it to win, even though I didn't see it. I definitely want to see it now, but I'm sure I'll get around to it. But I mean, good for Parasite. I think it's cool that a foreign film won. You don't really see that a whole lot.
Yeah, I do think that is pretty cool. I mean, so that's our Best Picture section right there. Next up, we've got Best Actor. So for Best Actor, they had 5 nominees. We had Joaquin Phoenix for his performance in Joker. We had Antonio Banderas for some movie that he did.
Probably Puss in Boots or something.
Yeah.
Another Shrek movie.
We have Adam Driver from Marriage Story, which I heard is absolutely phenomenal, his performance. We had Leonardo DiCaprio from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And
from Titanic.
I'm going to kill you. And
the actual guy from Titanic. I don't know why I was thinking Brad Pitt.
I don't know either. I'm still quite confused.
I'm embarrassed because I should know that.
Oh, I can't wait to listen to this again.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm gonna get.
And
people, I can see it now. People are gonna make fun of me from like.
Yeah, this is gonna be your trademark thing. Is thinking that Brad
Pitt's
Pitt's in everything.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, is that the one that
Brad Pitt in this movie?"
Everybody's gonna be like, "Is that the one that Brad Pitt's?" Like, yes, that was the movie.
Just comment down below on like our Facebook and Instagram. Brad Pitt was in that movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
tell me all the movies that Brad Pitt is in because I clearly don't know.
Speaking of which, if you haven't already, be sure to go and like us on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. On Instagram,
Shameless
we are
mention.
Yes, on Instagram we are Dudes in Film Official, and on Facebook we're just Dudes in Film. I manage the Instagram page, and Trevor manages the Facebook. And we read your comments. We read what you guys think, and we want your opinion on the stuff that we talk about.
Only if it's nice. I only want nice opinions.
Yeah, we won't listen to. I might listen if you're a hater. I've got problems.
I'll do it Jimmy Kimmel style. And any mean tweets, I'm just gonna like post a video of me reading out the mean tweets or the mean.
We can do that.
Facebook messages.
You know what? We're gonna be on Jimmy Kimmel one day, and we're gonna be reading about our mean tweets.
Is that Jimmy? Yeah, that's Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah,
right?
it's Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. It's not Fallon.
I know there's the two Jimmys that confuse me.
Yeah.
Just like Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
We're getting so off topic. This is so much fun. Okay, so Joaquin Phoenix ended up winning Best Actor.
No surprise.
I
think everybody's seen that one coming.
Yeah, I mean, even for the people who didn't see Joker, probably knew that he was going to be the one that won.
Yeah.
I mean, he absolutely killed it as Arthur Fleck, the Joker. I mean, it was super convincing. Like, there were times where I was thinking, like, I think he's actually going insane. I don't think he's acting right now. Especially if you watch, like, the behind the scenes, like, him psyching him up, or I think there's even a video of him getting, like, really ticked off at like, a set manager or something, like, hey, you're ruining my scene. Like Christian Bale in one of those Terminator movies. I don't know. But, I mean, everyone saw it coming.
Christian Bale was in Terminator.
Terminator
Salvation, yeah.
Yeah, one of the worst ones. But that's off topic. Speaking of which, if you haven't Terminator, go check out our last episode about the films that we hated of 2019. I'm just advertising for our stuff.
Also, since we talked about Christian Bale, what do you get when Batman skips church?
A Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
That's such a dad joke. You're not even a dad.
And you know, it has to do with the Joker as well. It's Batman Joker.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Sorry. I had to throw
it's okay. It's okay. So, yeah, who is Jonathan Pryce? Who is? You know what? I'm gonna Google him right now because if he's nominated for Best Actor of 2019, he's got to be something.
Honestly, I don't know what Antonio Banderas was in.
I don't either.
In Leonardo DiCaprio never wins Oscars. He's won one Oscar after being nominated for it. Because I remember there's the joke a couple of years ago where it was like Leonardo DiCaprio never won an Oscar, and that was like a running joke.
Yeah.
He never won. Even though he definitely has deserved a couple of them, but
in The Departed.
Yeah, in The Departed.
I've seen most of The Departed, and his performance in that was pretty good.
Yeah,
I was quite moved.
Yeah.
Jonathan Pryce was in The Two Popes.
Oh, okay.
So that was one of the Netflix movies with Anthony Hopkins.
Gotcha. Okay.
I never saw that one.
Yeah, I don't even think I've heard about that movie.
I heard about it, but just didn't care.
But yeah, when Joaquin Phoenix won, Adam Driver in Marriage Story, I think would have been a good choice as well. If he had won it and just kind of took it away, I would have been shocked, but also not surprised because I think he did a really good job in that movie as well. If you haven't watched that movie, just from the small clip I watched, it was good.
Yeah, that's on my list.
I would definitely say go. I would definitely say go and watch that if you want to see a good acting.
Yeah. So for Best Actress, we have Charlize Theron from that Fox News movie. That's pretty woke. We've got Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story. We have Renee Zellweger. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Oh, I hope so.
I think she was in Little Women. No, she was not in Little Women.
No.
And then two other.
Honestly, don't know. I should have done more research on this, but
too. I just put down the names. But we also have Cynthia Erivo and Saoirse Ronan. I'm sure that they did great in their performances.
Yeah,
I didn't see any of the movies for the Best Actress nominations at all.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, Renee Zellweger was in a movie called
Judy. Yeah, she was in Jerry Maguire.
She was in a movie called Judy.
Oh,
I think that's the one that she was won the awards for. It was like a romance movie, which would also explain why I didn't see it because I'm not really
I don't really like those romance movies.
I don't really watch dramas or romance movies.
I'll watch drama, but not a drama romance movie.
But yeah, she won Best Actress for that, which is good for her. I'm glad she won it.
Props to the women.
I probably won't go watch that movie, but good for you.
Yeah,
Renee.
And up next we have the Best Director. So I was torn between the first two nominees that we have here. First off, we have Todd Phillips for his work in Joker. Second off, we have Sam Mendes for his work on 1917. That was a chore, I'm sure, that he had to do to be able to manage that. Then we have Quentin Tarantino, obviously, because every movie that he does, he has to be the best director, for his work on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Then we have Bong Joon-ho from Parasite. Yep.
Yeah.
That's quite a name. That's actually a really cool name. And then we have, of course, Martin Scorsese for The Irishman.
I bet Quentin Tarantino is just like, oh, I lost.
I'm gonna smoke crack now. And dream about blood and feet. Yeah.
I mean, I like Quentin Tarantino, but
he's strange.
He is strange, but
I find his taste in film, like the way that he makes his movies, like really interesting. I personally was going for Todd Phillips. Yeah, Todd Phillips. Yeah, I would have loved if he won, but I was personally rooting for Sam Mendes because it takes a certain man to be able to direct a one-shot film like 1917, to be able to like manage the set and the actors and rehearsing and all that. And Todd Phillips, he had to work with Joaquin for maybe 6 months, I think I read. So I was really torn between the two. Yeah, and then Quentin Tarantino, whatever. He's already won a few Oscars for his stuff.
I'm sure Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was great.
Yeah, I'm sure. I just don't care.
Yeah.
And then Bong Joon-ho for
Parasite.
That's a great name.
Yeah,
I like
hold
that. Then we have Martin Scorsese for The Irishman. Now, he's done other gangster movies, hasn't he? Or like crime dramas. I think he did The Departed.
I don't know.
I don't remember. But it like I was talking when I was talking about 1917. It takes a certain kind of man to be able to direct a 3.5 hour long epic.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I agree.
movie.
I think that it just takes like a lot of like patience to do. Like you have to be patient with it, and then on top of that, all of your directions have to be precise, and
or else the audience won't like it.
Yeah, the audience won't like it, and I think. Again, I didn't see Parasite, so it must have been really good to be 1917 and The Joker for Best Director because I don't, yeah.
Yep. And I'm trying to think here. So then we, Best Score, I haven't written down, but I know that Joker and Star Wars: The Last Jedi, or not The Last Jedi. What am I
biased,
thinking?
But Star Wars should have won.
The Rise of Skywalker.
I'm also biased though. I just like John Williams. Anything John Williams does.
I love John Williams.
I'm the same way with John. Great. I'm the same way with John Williams that I am with Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Where it's like if basically they're in the running for anything, I'm just like, oh yeah, give it to John Williams.
Yeah.
Even though he's already won stuff before,
everything.
But I like the Star Wars soundtrack. It was great. I listened to it just because I feel like listening to it, and it's good. I mean, say what you want about the movie. The soundtrack is phenomenal. It's awesome, and just like every Star Wars movie, it is.
Yeah. Personally, I was rooting for the Joker soundtrack, which in fact did win. I can't remember the composer's name. But she was watching the film and she really wanted this kind of dark tone as Arthur is kind of dancing in the bathroom, like getting his evil on, like, ooh, yeah, I'm feeling bad. And throughout that entire film, the music really felt like it was part of a character, like a character that went along with Arthur in the movie.
Yeah, I would say that was a good one as well. I'm not upset with the Joker winning. Like I said, I'm just biased, so I'm just I like John Williams. He's getting up there in age, so I want him to win. This was
his last film too. He's retired now.
Yeah, well, no, he said he's going to return for Indiana Jones 5.
Wait a minute, hold on now. That's a thing?
Yeah, and if
Indiana Jones 5 is a thing?
Indiana Jones 5 is a thing. I'm kind of skeptical about it. It's been basically pushed back like 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
But if it comes out, at this point, it's supposed to be coming out next year.
Well, one thing is for sure, folks. We at Dudes and Film are definitely going to be talking about it.
Oh, yeah, when Indiana Jones 5 comes out, definitely. Harrison Ford said that it will be his last film as Indiana Jones.
Boy. He's just a grumpy old man now.
He is, but Call of the Wild looks great.
It does.
I'm going to go see that.
I will definitely see that.
And then, John Williams said he's on board. So if he said he's totally on board, and then Steven Spielberg is coming back too.
Really?
Yeah.
You see, this is why I have to write a script, because right now we're just having a conversation, folks.
Yeah,
we got like a couple notes right here, but right now we're just talking. See, this is what happens when we just come in and say, hey, let's record.
Yeah. So I'm kind of, like I said, I'm still kind of skeptical that it's happening just because it was supposed to come out last year, I believe, in 2019. And it's been pushed back like 2 or 3 times. They've been having writing issues. Like a couple of guys they've had a couple of writers and they've gone through different writers, which kind of scares me because I'm just like,
they have to maintain
especially since a lot of people were kind of hesitant with Crystal Skull. A lot of people didn't like it.
I did not like the Crystal Skull.
I thought it was 90% of it was good.
Okay.
Then the last like 10%, like the last 10 minutes of the movie, I was like, But yeah, Indiana Jones 5 is supposed to be happening. Oh, and Short Round's coming back too.
Really?
Yeah.
As a grown man?
As a grown man.
Man, that's going to be entertaining.
I thought, my theory is that he's going to be like a professor or something like that.
Yeah.
Or at least I thought it'd be good. And so like Indiana Jones at this point should be retired. And like, I think it'd be funny, whereas like, you know, before he like drops in on short round and just drives him out, I think it'd be funny if like Indiana Jones is like in trouble again, like he always is, and he's like running to short round, and short round's just like doing something like gardening or like teaching a class or something. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm working right now. You can't just take me off on these adventures. I think that'd be hilarious, but
that would be hilarious.
I am curious to see how it goes when they do it. I mean,
same here. That'd be a treat.
I'm gonna go see it. Even though Crystal Skull is probably my least favorite, I'm still gonna go see any Indiana Jones movie that comes out with Harrison Ford in it. Yeah. Any ones that come after it, that might come after it, I might not go see. But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time that we have today.
Yeah, that's all the time we have
for this episode. Thanks for listening. Once again, if you haven't yet, be sure to go like us on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram at Dudes and Film Official, and for Facebook, just Dudes and Film. We're gonna be posting there. We're gonna try to be posting there a lot more often.
Yeah.
I'm Matt Summers.
I'm Trevor Harnden.
And we're the dudes talking about film.
Dudes talking about film.
Thanks for listening.
Next
guys.
one is hopefully probably Mandalorian, or maybe if we go see Sonic, maybe Sonic.
Yeah, I love Sonic.
I love Sonic the Hedgehog.
Go check out our Instagram if you don't understand that. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, man, have a good one.